Ladies and gentlemen, this is Internet Personality Vangelus. I'm here in Toronto, and I've got this box of stuff in front of me. Partner in crime is editing some kind of multi-$1,000 science fiction feature to the left of me, so I thought, isn't this a beautiful time to do a V-build? I'm not even in my own home. Anyway, this is the Gokaioh, which I've had for months, and I haven't built yet because I've got this pathological need to put on camera the building of any model kit I buy, which is really unhealthy for actually building model kits, because then you never get them done, because it's so much work to film them. This is a Minipla kit. Hopefully, if you've seen one of these before, you know what it's like. You get candy with it. I think I might give this candy to my roommate here, because I don't think he's ever enjoyed the beauties of a laminate tablet. And the parts look like this. They're in little bags. I'm going to forego the rest of this opening because you've seen what these look like before, haven't you? Okay, maybe I'll show you a little bit of the end result, because what's kind of interesting is the sheer number of sprues some of these things have, and the sheer lack of sprues some of these other things have. Like the yellow one here is 2 sprues, but the blue one is a black sprue. So that's kind of interesting, given that the red one is 3 sprues. There's really no cost to box here. It really is the cost of the entire piece, which means that if you somehow lived in Japan and were buying these by the box, just off of a countertop, and for some demented reason you only bought, like, you know, the Gokai Blue vehicle because you just really like dudes whose last names are Gibkin, then you'd be screwed. Instructions, by the way. Let's do a sprue count. I'm curious now, having opened these all up. So the red one clearly has the most parts, and they're all cast in proper colors, more or less. He's got 2 red sprues and a yellow sprue for the swords. That's pretty cool. The yellow one, hey, guess what? The yellow one's cast in yellow as well. I think that the yellow one lucked out because the swords were, through some design decision, cast in yellow, because, hey, the yellow one is in proper colors and you don't have to do too much stickerage if you're a stickering type. The other guys, though, got a little bit screwed. Let's open up pink here. Something you're going to notice about pink is a distinct lack of pink plastic, because it's all in black, with just actually a little bit of pink on the stickers here. There's a definite lack of pink overall in the stickered version of this kit. And then we pop open the blue one I mentioned before. Blue is a sprue of black plastic with some blue stickers. So if you notice, the 2 legs are each a large sprue and a small sprue, right? This arm is 1 sprue, and this arm, the green one, is also, unless I'm horrifically mistaken, also only 1 sprue. So there's a definite logic to the parts count here, but this was also definitely not designed as individual kits. This was designed as 1 kit broken up and sold in 5 parts. Because, I mean, you buy this one, you get your money's worth. You buy either of the legs, you get 2 sprues. That's kind of, you know, your basic money's worth. You buy either of the arms, you got a sprue of bits, which totally is unsatisfactory. But as a whole kit, it makes sense. And I kind of wonder if eventually the business plan of Minipla will just be, let's just sell it in 1 box. I mean, these are practically bought in 1 box anyway. The only reason to buy them separately is, or to sell them separately, is to sell more of this, which, you know what, actually, why am I complaining? I'm getting more candy out of this. Anyway, let's V-build. Seriously, though, I would totally love it if this was just, you know, in, like, 1 kind of brick-like box. Anyway, let's build a pirate ship, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying another new angle here, because I haven't filmed anything in this location before. This is the lovely Toronto apartment in which I'm staying. This is also a Gokaioh head. Doesn't look it yet. It looks kind of like a broom. But, yeah, this apartment's really nice. Aside from, you know, what you just heard there, the cars driving into each other outside. But, I'm liking this large desk, because there's actually room here to do stuff, which is a new experience for me. Another new experience for me is building a pirate ship. I've never built a boat before. I'm not actually that much of a modeler, so, you know, the old experience of building a ship in a bottle has still escaped me. I like that they actually sculpted the Gokaiger symbol outline on here. It makes me wonder if I want to use the stickers, or if I want to try to just paint that silver and then add some black lines in. I don't know. That aside, I need to get some of these parts out of the way of my instructions, because I can't see what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, I see. You take this little thing, stick it in inside of here. There we go. And yeah, Gokaiger, I'm getting caught up on. I hadn't seen past episode 4 for months, so I'm just now starting to get caught up on it. I'm watching, I think I'm on episode 9 at the time of this recording, and hopefully I'll be a bit farther along by the time this actually goes up. I'd like to get caught up as soon as possible because the Hurricanegers are coming in, and Hurricaneger is one of my absolute favorite series. It's the series that actually got me into Sentai, and I'm just seeing where this head's supposed to go. Okay, so the face up. Here we go. Hurricaneger got me into Sentai, so I would really like to see what I saw of the trailer for that episode, because it looks like all 3 of the original Hurricanegers are coming back, and they're bringing back that villain whose name I always forget how to pronounce. But you know, the Kabuki dude, and I liked him a lot, so I'm pretty pumped for those. This thing's nice and easy to put together, I gotta say. I'm really digging the lack of difficulty in assembling this kit. I hope you guys can see this all right. It's hard to zoom in properly because these are all red pieces, which means that they blur out of focus at a moment's notice. But aside from that little quibble, I'm otherwise having a good time out here in the TO. I was at TFCon a couple weeks ago. Filmed a V-build there. I don't know if you guys are going to see that before this one or after this one, but that was a good time. Filmed that with Aaron on the last night of TFCon, just out in the hotel lobby, because we're like, whatever. Neither of us feel like going to bed yet, so we're gonna sit in the lobby and build a kabaya with the last of the amount of room I had for footage for the rest of the show, and we goddamn did it. That's all I can say. All right, so I got this thing. Oh, I gotta do some transforming here. Look at this. We're gonna close this up over his head, and this is pretty sizable. I was kind of expecting this to be a bit long, but I'm always surprised by just how big these things can get. Like, look at this. It's only like half the ship. So we're gonna move the camera over here now and continue building. This is exciting. It's live. It's new media. I don't really know what else to say. I'm hoping that I can get this out before Ido 11 gets out his first D build, because I can't have that little conjurer trying to step on my game. You know, he's coming up out of the woodwork again. I know, I was right there with you. I was like, surely by now we have heard the last of Ido 11. But no, Ido 11, he sent me a threat over Twitter saying, hey son, I think maybe it's time for the D build. I'm gonna make you watch me build stuff. And I was like, how dare you, sir? So, keep an eye out for the D build. We'll watch it together, ladies and gentlemen. Just not even ladies and gentlemen. Just you, lady or gentleman. You and I will watch the D build together. We'll judge it. We'll see if we really like what we see. What am I supposed to do now? Oh man, putting together fins. So I think a lot of you guys who are watching this have probably already built this before me. So in the comments, please be sure to let me know if I'm doing anything horrifically wrong or horrifically right. I'm sure you're asking now, you know, what on earth is horrifically right? Well, let me tell you, anything can be horrific when it's not done in moderation or with respect to the clergy. So, you know, just let me know if I'm crossing too many lines here. Although I will say, right now, the current Pope, I could take him in a fight. You know, I think if it came down to me and his shoe collection, I could throw him up and down the Duomo a little bit with good old the other one, the one Saint Jean-Claude Van Damme II or whatever. You know, the cool one, the one who we lost and who was replaced by the somewhat less effective one that we have now. I miss that guy. He was a bro pope. He once had the streets of Toronto cleaned for me before I arrived in Toronto. Granted, they say it was for his arrival, but I know what he was thinking. He was a bro. He was like, hey, listen up. internet personality Vangelus, and he's not known as this yet. He's not going to be known as this for years from now by like 10 people. But he's coming to town, and you know what? This town's dirty. Clean it. So thank you, Jean-Claude Van Pope. You're a bro, and I always think of you wherever you are out there. And this is a Gokai Galleon. Time to build a jet! I still got a dude editing a movie to my left, but that's alright. We can manage, ladies and gentlemen, because we're heroes. We're building a Gokai jet. Personal vehicle of Joe Gibken. That noise outside only further accentuates my confusion at the very basis of whatever his name is supposed to be. The one sad thing about this jet is that it's the blue Gokaiger's vehicle, and thus it is supposed to actually be pretty blue, and it's entirely done in black plastic. And the only downside of this is it means that unless you use the stickers, you got to do a hella painting to make this look normal. And I don't want to use the stickers if I can avoid it, so I got to do some hell of a painting. It's not a bad thing though, because it could be worse. It could be like the Engino set, where the yellow vehicle is done in black plastic, and thus you're left having to paint yellow over black, which is it's never fun. It's not a good time. It's not a good way to spend a childhood. And I would not recommend putting your children to that kind of task, even if you think it's going to be character building. You know, you don't want to end up like Brad Pitt in Tree of Life. It's not a good way to. I mean, you know what I mean if you've seen the movie. And I'm sure you've all seen Tree of Life at this point. It's a fine piece of cinema. I've put this thing on the wrong side. That side is just not aiming together correctly. I'm going to see if I can do it this way. But Tree of Life, it's a fine piece of cinema. I'm sure you've all gone and taken in at this point. So you know the illusion I'm making. I'm very sure. Otherwise, the only other big upside of the jet, or I suppose downside, depending how you look at it, is that it's only one sprue. So it's a very quick build, and thus does not have a whole lot of pieces that need to be painted in blue. I kind of like it that if something does have to be done entirely in black plastic, it's one of the smaller bits and not one of the larger pieces, unless it's for a Black Ranger, in which case, hey, guess what? You just saved me a whole bunch of trouble. I cannot get this wing to plug into this faux hat. Oh man, go, oh! Okay, gotta warm up. Gotta jump in here. Just do it like a man. Oh yeah. Oh, who's the big man? I'm the biggest man. Alright, I gotta do another one. Oh yeah, you went in easy. You know who's in charge now. You silly little robot pirate hat. Anyway, you stick this stuff all together, and you've got yourself a little jet. A cute little jet. Let's build a truck! So if there's one thing that I am happy about, it's that if one of these things, other than the pirate ship, got to be cast in its proper colors, it's that it's the yellow one, because I know it's technically the same process for the pink one, but I just hate painting yellow over black. I think it's because I already just don't really like yellow as a color. Pink I love, yellow not so much. So I am totally cool with this being the one that gets some color job done on it beforehand. This is the Gokai trailer, which means that it's a trailer for carrying Gokais around. I don't know if you guys have ever trailed some Gokai, but it's one of my favorite pastimes, especially during the winter. Just get out there, trail a little bit of Gokai. Make sure that the neighbors don't see what you're up to, because they just don't understand. And, you just treat it like any other day at work. And then when they say, hey, guess what? You're not supposed to be within 50 feet of that Gokai. You tell them, well, guess what? You can't fight destiny, Mr. Policeman. And that's when you drop your flashbang, you throw down your smoke bomb, use your ninja training and get far away from that police station. That's how I do it anyway. I don't... Oh, almost dropped my model part. That's how I do it. I don't know about the rest of you, but if you have a different way of trailing some Gokai, let me know. I can always use a little bit of shop talk. I particularly like my Gokais to have red hair. Makes them a lot more fun to trail. You know what I mean. If you talk the shop, you know what I mean when you're trailing Gokais. Oh man, how long's it been since I last trailed a Gokai? I remember those heady days of 1999. Trailing Gokais. Thinking about trailers. Getting strick right in the pat. Hey, guess what? I finished Gokai trailer. Let's move on to the racing car. I love racing, don't you? I'm gonna build a race car for you. This is another one where it's kind of like, hey, you know, it would be great if this was molded in green, but at least it's not molded in black and then painted yellow. This is another arm for the Gokaioh, and I'm liking these wrist ball joints I'm setting up in here. This gives me a good feeling. I hope you guys don't mind, by the way, that I've more or less entirely forsaken showing the clipping of parts in these. I just think that those shots don't really accomplish much after a while, and I don't know which clippings to show, and I don't want to just shoot all the clippings and make a montage, because that would be so much footage for so little gain. I just feel really weird about doing that. I don't know. Maybe in a future vid. Maybe for something that's smaller than this. I've got smaller model kits than this. I've got some, what do you call them? The kanjis. You know what I mean, right? They're in my drawer behind me. I'll look at them later. I kind of like how these wheels are going on with a separate hubcap, like many of these Minipla kits. It's the little touches that make Minipla so fun to deal with. Although I kind of wish the wheels snapped in somehow, but on the bright side, that means disassembly is not going to be scary if I need to pull this off to paint the hubcap. So it's not all that bad. What are we doing now? Oh, sticking this part together. I hope you don't mind also the lack of a top-down perspective. I just didn't feel it looked all that great with the way that my lighting is set up here. So hopefully this turns out all right. V-builds are a funny thing. I never feel comfortable when I'm making them. Like, I guess that's actually to its benefit in the long run, that I don't feel like there's a comfortable formula to any of this, because that way it's always an adventure. That came out really horribly. Wow. Model building is fun, though. I got a question recently, whenever I filmed this, about whether or not I'd be doing any Games Workshop stuff in this style, and I wish I could say that that was in the cards for me, but I'm not overly interested in doing that. This actually did clip on this wheel. If it was like 1999 or even 2000 or 2001, I'd be like, dude, I love Games Workshop. Yes, I want to make videos about my love of Games Workshop. But I fell out of Games Workshop shortly after high school, back in like 2002. So unfortunately, I'm not overly interested in actually playing the games right now. Also, because there's not really much gaming around me back in BC that really feels like a place I want to hang out all that much. So sorry guys. I mean, if I just picked up a model, I guess I could do it, but I'd feel weird doing that because it wouldn't be for any reason other than to make a video, really. This thing rolls real well. We got one more vehicle to do, and it's supposedly pink. Oh, ahim de famille. Whatever you want to call it. This is the Gokai Marine, because I guess pink rangers really love water. I like this mechanism. It's nice and simple and solid. Ooh, and because it's a leg, I have to attach the really interesting ankle tilt ball joints. This isn't just like a hinge, it's not just a simple ball, it's a ball that is designed to primarily bend in one direction more so than any other, which it's neat to look at. I don't think I've seen a joint like this in a Minipla before, so that's new. Otherwise, we're just going to be putting in, a large assembly of these little circular tab tube pieces. Gotta love them. Is there a term for these? Are they called like tabes or tubabs or something like that? Tubab is actually that's a horrible term, and if any of you start calling these tubabs, then I don't like you anymore, and I want you to stop right now. Oh, we're coming back over here. Oh, I gotta bring you along. I'm gonna stick a lid on you. So there's another version of this thing that's already been I think it's actually already been released now, which has fillings for these that look like cannonballs. Unfortunately, I already ordered this, and then it took me up until that one came out to put this one together, which is kind of a bummer, because I'm totally not a sucker who'd just order it again. Look forward to the V-Build update. On the upside, though, I don't plan to do the stickers on this at all. That's just not what I like to do with these Minipla releases, but since I'll be getting a second one, and I don't really want to just, sell it, maybe I can put that one together as, an example of what this looks like when you have just done stickers. So I'll have, this one, which I'd like to paint, plus the cannonball bits, and then, a stickered one for afterwards. By the way, this mechanism's interesting. So the instructions didn't make this clear. You gotta take this tube piece, you see the long, tabbed area there? That goes into this tab along here so it can slide out. At least I hope it does. So if I close this up, then this should be an extending cannon. And I think it totally is. Yes, it is. Now what's funny is that the re-release of this is so based on the cannon gimmick, it comes with, not just an extending cannon, just a giant-ass cannon you stick inside. So, I will cover that version of this somehow, but I may do that one as a stickered one and then actually paint this one. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out in time. But now I totally have Gokai Marine and a little cannonball shooter thing. I guess you could call it a cannon. Let's combine these and see how they look. Well, here are the Gokai machines, and luckily I have a big instruction sheet to tell me how to transform them, because, Sentai transformations are so very intricate. So, overall, this kit was, again, it's a very, very simple build. It certainly should not take you longer than about an hour or so, unless it takes you a while to cut out all the parts. Oh man, I gotta pull swords out and everything. There's parts forming in this? What? That's not possible. I gotta parts form things. So if you like Gokaiger, and I know a lot of you do, this is definitely something that's worth your time. I know that there's the Super Robot Shogoken Gokaiger coming out, which may lead one to question whether or not this is useful, because that is also going to be a posable Gokaioh. So I suppose that this one is more so if you want one that also transforms, really. Unless you just like model kits, in which case, why not pick up the only decent Gokaiger model kit out there at the moment. Oh man, do I have to pull stuff off? No, I leave that in, right? Yeah. This is a bit on here. It's all pull the chest piece off. I mean, I did pull it off to stick the cannon piece inside already. I guess maybe that's what they're talking about. Oh, you silly dudes. So what do I gotta do here? I gotta plug this stuff into his flanks. Oh, right, you get to mount these things. This one goes into here, and then I gotta stick the this little sub flag onto the weapon. And I gotta go and look up to see whether or not this is something from out of the show or out of the out of the deluxe store. I totally dropped it. Come back, little flag. I don't want to lose you. Oh, hey, we're back and we got a flag. All right, I'm gonna pull this off of him before I stick it on, before I cause another debacle to happen. There we go. Oh, I see. It's kind of like it gives it a guard. That's actually really cool. I like that. I'm guessing there's a little bit more parts forming here than on the DX version, but whatever, because this one's going to end up actually being posable. Oh yeah, next step in the instructions, totally stick the cannon into his chest. Guess what? I already did that. And the instructions for transforming these other pieces is actually, that's in their instruction sheets made out of their boxes. So I'm going to have to wing this. I know this is pretty tough. I guess I open this. Oh man. How do people figure these things? How do they engineer these things? You take the little leg-shaped thing and open the foot? It is kind of odd, though, how even on the Minipla, this thing has to parts form just like the DX one. Although, I guess that's to allow for this massive ankle tilt. Like, look at that. That's awesome. The pegs are all fine and tight right now. If any loosening happens, I doubt I'll know about it until sometime after I finish painting them and doing up videos and stuff. So that's unfortunate. Going up here, let's see. I gotta pull his little hat off of this thing. Come on, come on, come on, get up. Oh wait, it goes forward, that's why. Watch me break this in half on camera. And, I know, Minipla transformations, Sentai robot transformations, they're so very difficult. And the Minipla thing that I love is that, guess what, you've got, like, elbows and stuff. So, the rest of this is pretty easy, I think. You just stick things in place. Come here, Gokaiger! This tripod setup is totally not feeling very natural. I gotta figure something else out here. Does this actually tab in there? Oh, it does. It kind of has a little soft lock-in point. I like that. Right. Oh, I gotta pull the little hand out here. Come on. Come and be with me, little hand. There we go. Oh, I like the size of this already. This is feeling good and substantial. And then he says as it horrifically falls over. Let me fold up the little hat here and finish the transformation by giving him a chapeau. That's French for forehead covering. Oh, I like the way that finishes off. That's real cool. Look at that. I mean, it's not painted at all, but you can see the shapes, right? Gokaioh is complete and is posable. I love me some Sentai Minipla. And just in case you're wondering, this guy does still have the whole gimmick of the opening drawers. I think, yeah, right here even. All the drawers open up. You can't actually store anything inside them on this version, but there's pegs there. Obviously, you'll be able to plug things in. So that's a gimmick slightly lost, but I love all the techie detail they stuck inside the cavities, or at least the faux cavities. Ah, this thing's cool. I can't wait to put together some of the accessory robots for this, which I think I might do, maybe even later this week. But if we just open all these things up, I want to see how this chest works. I've been curious about that ever since I assembled it. Come on, open up for me. Yeah. Also, if you want, you can turn the dial on his back. It's just that it won't do anything. So let's see, you remove the chest. Oh, I get it. So you pull off the chest, and then that's why his front pelvis piece folds down. So you pull that off, and then you can plug this into it. I like that, because that means, like, you'd say, why isn't this just attached there? Well, that's one reason why. But by having this as a separate piece, it allows him to have this waist joint. So it's a little bit of parts forming, but not necessarily for a bad reason. Because that also means that if you want to not have the giant, plank sticking out of the front of his crotch, you can just leave this off and stick the accessory robots in there. I dig that a lot, actually. That's a really good design decision. Because you see, if this thing was connected to that waist piece, he'd have no waist articulation there. And then, let's see, come on. This is finicky as all hell. Hey guys, I extended the cannon. This is kind of tricky to get at properly, but there you go, he's got a little cannon sticking out, and I totally meant for this sword to fall off, so I'll just stick that in his hand, and he's gonna cut some fools and shoot them with his cannonballs. So thanks for watching this V-build. If you actually watched it all the way through, I appreciate it. My apologies if this was done a little bit haphazardly. I just really wanted to build this thing more so than I wanted to put together an amazing video production, but that's how it is. I really want to record building models, and I apologize that these are not as well thought out as some of my reviews, if you even call those well thought out in any way. Anyway, thanks for watching, and maybe you'll see this guy painted sometime later on. Damn cool model kit. I love it.